Hey guys, it's your girl Fab, and today I'm a little bit on the go, but I'm gonna stop briefly to talk about the need to set boundaries for your family. And I'm gonna talk about it because it is one of the biggest challenges that I've had, even until this day. And it became more apparent when it reached a level that it had never reached before, not that long ago, where I might have an argument or disagreement with a sibling that might have lasted maybe like a few weeks. But then I just started to notice that it became my whole family that like turned against me. And I'm not coming from a place of pity or feeling sorry for myself or not being able to see myself as being part of the problem. I always try to be fair. So now, because the whole family had somewhat come against me, if you will, I now had to look in the mirror and say, okay, what role am I playing in this situation? What role am I playing? Because I'm the common denominator, So I wanted to have like a family meeting, but it fell on deaf ears, which is something that's very typical of my family. I can't speak for other families, but they don't want to sit down. There's a lot of resistance before we sit down. Even if we all agree that we'll be like, we'll hear each other out and all those things, there's a lot of resistance all the time. So that didn't happen. In short, several months passed by, and finally I initiated it. And I calmly approached one of my sisters. And then ironically, one of my brothers was also able to be there. And I think that was just like divine order or divine intervention. So it gave me the opportunity to really speak my piece in a peaceful way to at least two of my siblings, because I have 4 siblings. And so that, if it wouldn't be the end resolution for everything, but at least we would have been able to start the conversation. So anyhow, I now stated my feelings. I'm very passionate about my family. I am very ambitious about goals I have for myself, and I sometimes push that on my family. I'll own it. But I was able to just calmly tell them how I felt about the situations that had taken place over the last several months to a year. And so with that, one of my brothers just finally said, I don't want to fight anymore. And it was the best feeling on earth, because just like I had acknowledged that I had a part to play in it, he was acknowledging that he had a part to play in the disrupt for that whole year. So if I immediately felt a release, like this is exactly what we need. This is like family therapy. So my sister's willingness to just even listen to me was a big deal, because normally she would just like block me out. So, and at the end of that, we decided we came to a truce. But a personal lesson that I learned is this whole idea that I'm the strong one in the family. And while that is something that, you should probably feel good about sometimes I don't want to be the strong one. Sometimes I want somebody else to be the rock for me. I don't want to always be the one who has to initiate things for the family, or plan things, or if we haven't seen each other in a long time, organize the reunion, or organize the family meeting, or organize the intervention, or organize the family trip, or I don't always want to be that person. I need a break too. So what I personally learned is that a big reason of how I helped cause this initial altercation was because I removed my energy and my efforts out of the circumstance. And I realized that played a part, at least when it comes to my brothers, or, the male side of my family. I said no, and it was a problem. I said no, and it was a problem. But it was something that I needed to do. It was something that I need to do, because that's what happens in my family. When someone is ill, I'm the one who's doing the care package. When something needs to be planned, I'm the one who's, calling up people and rallying the troops. Like, it can't always be me. And so finally I said no, and it was a real problem for everybody. And so that's why this time it was uniquely different, in the sense that everybody was like, oh, I'm the source of the issue, I'm the source of the issue. It wasn't because necessarily because of my overall passion, because I'm a very passionate person, so my family knows me to be that person, so that wasn't new. But it was because I finally said no, and it was something that needed to be done. Because now, several months later, I'm able to talk to my siblings in a calm way and express myself finally, to say that I get tired too, that I need a break, that I don't always want to be seen as a strong one, that there's been times that I've needed to reach out to my siblings and get support and counseling from them. But I've always been that person. And so I say this to say, in the long run, I think it was the better decision that I made to stick to it. Because as soon as I said no, there was an uproar, and I could have easily went to a crying place, or I could have easily just checked out, but I didn't. I stood my ground, and I made it clear to my family that yes, for the most part, I have always been that person, that go-to person, but I'm human, and I'm going to need breaks, relaxation. I'm going to need to release. I'm going to need to not always be that person 100% of the time, and you're gonna need to be okay with that if you say you love me. So I'm just telling my own narrative, because I'm always hoping that it can help someone else out, because I know it can be hard, because sometimes it looks like if you don't do it, then who's gonna do it? If you don't do it, if you're that person in your family and you don't do it, like, who's going to step up and do it? And it won't get done. But guess what? It will. Because for the last several months, I have definitely seen some shifts and changes that probably could have happened a long time ago if I had stood my ground sooner. But anyway, I think everything is God's timing. And with that said, I'm psyched that I did what I did. That's all. So now I can move forward. And we're not all the way there. We can never quite be all the way there, but at least a conversation was started, a truce was had, and we all agreed that we are going to be cordial, respectful, and mindful about the different lives that we have now and the different requirements that we have for our lives. So I say this to say, set your boundaries, stand your ground on them, be firm about it, don't be afraid. If they start tripping and you want to start tripping, don't trip after all. Just stand your ground. If you have to move away or keep some distance between you and your family, then so be it. Because that's the self-care that you need at the moment. So I hope this story was helpful to somebody in regards to how to set your boundaries with your family. And I hope it can bring someone some balance and peace to their lives. And that's from my heart. So please, I'm just beginning this channel. Please help me out and subscribe to my channel. Put on your post notifications. And you can also DM me on Instagram with any questions or topics that you want me to discuss. I appreciate your love. Bye.